Thank you very much. Well, I was told it was bright up here, but it certainly is very, very bright indeed. So Magnus Falk, I've been in tech, I've been a CIO, I've been a CTO, and now I have that wonderful period of having a portfolio career. So I sit on a number of boards. And in 2019, an old friend asked if I could help Zoom, and I hadn't really heard of Zoom, grow in EMEA. So I had a look at the platform, liked what I saw of the company, and so agreed to do a day a week starting 2019 in helping this fledgling business expand beyond its US base. Play the movie on 2020. I was working 7 days a week. It was growing like Billy-O, and I'm sure you all know and have had loads of experiences of Zoom. But the thing about being in that position is that I got a kind of complete ringside seat, working with companies that were responding to the pandemic, making board-level decisions about how to deal with that, working with Zoom, seeing the platform grow. And so I got this massive 360-degree view of what was going on in unified collaboration. I just need to put this up on the screen. By talking with you today, I'm not establishing a contract, so stuff might change, and that's all I'll say about that. I would like to start, though, with a massive thank you to PXC. I mean, you're working with them. We've started an amazing partnership with them. We're absolutely delighted that they are including us in the very exciting journey that they're going on. So just a big thank you to the PXC. We know we will make your customers very happy, so we're glad to be on board. And thank you so much to you as an audience. I really appreciate sitting there listening to someone is a massive investment of your time that you could be using on a whole bunch of things. So I'm going to really focus on some areas of real change and interest to try and honor that use of your time. And so the three areas I'm planning to focus on today are my thoughts on exploiting AI. And I think exploit's the right word because we've got to make this thing work for us. We've got to actually take advantage of it. People don't like the word exploit because it's got negative connotations, but I think we all have to work out how we make it do the stuff we want it to do to make us more profitable and better. And of course, you'll want to be steering your customers in the right direction. So hopefully I can say a bit about that. And then I'd like to touch on Zoom's experience of how customers are taking the ubiquity of communication and collaboration technology to take the center out of contact center, to really start making their customer experience much more a holistic experience across their business. And lastly, I just want to kind of double down on Zoom's desire to partner with you. I'm really keen to make that point because Zoom did a lot of business to business. We were very focused on making people successful during the pandemic, but we know we have to work with the channel ecosystem, with a partner ecosystem, and we need to be your best friends. So I'm not just here for the opportunity of standing on this massive Art Deco stage and speaking. But first, a quick one. Why are Zoom relevant in this space? You might know Zoom, for all the meetings that you've done, and you might have particular experiences. But Zoom has expanded way beyond the thing that it was famous for. For example, we have Zoom Phone, 7 million Zoom Phone paid seats, which we only launched this product in 2019. And it's a pretty good going to get to that sort of size. And we've got massive traction in the enterprise space. As of the last earnings announcement, we had 95 customers with more than 10,000 seats in their business. And it's not that people just buy Zoom Phone as part of a whole Zoom ecosystem. Many people have got Teams and they put Zoom Phone just in the heart of Teams with a Teams calling function that actually is Zoom because they want operational resilience in their business. They don't want to be left in the hands of a single vendor. And second, as the end of last quarter, Zoom Contact Center, which we released in 2022, building on all the things that we've got, but adding on the contact center functionality, now has approximately 700 customers, growing at 3 times rate year on year, so really accelerating our growth. And within that, the Zoom Virtual Agent growing at a very impressive rate too. And third, across Zoom, we now have 500,000 accounts which have enabled Zoom AI Companion, which was GA well before any of the competitors that you might know of. And as at the end of last year, over 7 million meeting summaries had already been produced, but that number is just going exponential. And the Zoom's comprehensive platform is able to deliver limitless human connections. We've got a real twin focus on employee experience through Zoom Workspace and the customer experience through some of our business-focused applications. And this is really making employees, customers, and their customer very, very happy. And it's all built on that core of Zoom that people seem to prefer. And I'm happy to discuss any of this later. It's a massive ecosystem. I mean, many of you wouldn't even know that we had visitor management. But I'm happy to discuss that with any of you later. So please come and have a chat if you want to. So let's just go first to exploiting AI. Well, we've seen absolutely waves of technology improvement. We've seen spreadsheets, PCs, the windowed experience, emails, office products, the internet, smart devices, smart mobile devices, crypto, open banking, and time again, the hype has been amazing. And the thing about hype is it just seems to get hypier. And the short-term effect was nothing like the hype. However, in many cases, the long-term effects have been greater. And there have been duds. I would say that blockchain, it hasn't lived up to it. Computers built into glasses, the goggles seem to be making a comeback. And I think the jury's really quite still out on whether social media is long-term going to be regarded as a big success. However, our lives have been changed. And we are really so much more capable and productive as a result, though sometimes it doesn't feel like that. This is the Valentine card I sent my wife. I mean, for all this technology, it's meant to make us more productive and be able to have more human relationships. It does seem that sometimes you're sat with your loved one scrolling through the device looking for some form of urgent stimulation. And technology doesn't always lead to the desired outcome. So how do we approach AI? As I talked about, the overselling, the hyping, I think that AI has been oversold right at the moment. But I think, again, and I think there are a lot of market commentators who agree with this, that it's going to be even bigger in the long term than we could possibly imagine now. So I argue strongly that it's really important, though even if you struggle to see exactly how it's going to affect your life right now, it's to start and get moving in considered ways. Not be left behind. And as one colleague put it, we've now entered this interesting era of unlimited interns, where the AI is an intern in effect. And as we've all probably experienced with interns, you just can't let them loose on your business. You can't go, oh, welcome in, you're the intern. Right, there's the customer list. You've got to supervise it. You've got to take responsibility for that. At the moment, AI actually probably has very limited uses to put directly in front of customers. Yes, it can signpost, it can suggest, it can maybe present info, but it can't take responsibility for your business and take actions. Having said that, it does have some really killer use cases at the moment. If you're not already using meeting summaries, it's really important that you do. The simple question is, why not? It's really like, having an intern at every meeting. I thought transcription was the killer app until I came across the summary. This thing listens, summarizes what the actions are, summarizes what the notes are. And those sorts of things are the corporate staple of, kind of just of getting professional work done. But they've always been a pain. If you've got this intern who's attending every meeting and doing it for you, it really can save a lot of time. And who likes, if you've had a brilliant conversation with a customer in a contact center, who likes filling in the CRM with the summary and putting the notes on? But the summarized, the intern that can join can do that, and you can just check that it actually reflects what the content you had, and that's a much more straightforward experience. So these are essential professional disciplines that are now much, much easier, and you should all be trying them for size. All live in Zoom, live as a meeting summary, live in the Zoom contact center to be able to export your chat. And as you get used to the meeting summaries, the supercharged you, some other opportunities present themselves. The opportunity of doing the creation of content. And there's a whole range of things here. What's the next response to this customer query? What's the next thing that I should do? Quite an interesting, we've announced this Ask AI Companion where we go, tell me how I should be best prepared for this next meeting. And it goes to look at all your content and gives you the summary of what that might mean. The real-life retrieval of information while you're talking, or the real-time retrieval of information while you're talking, is a great use case within the contact center again, suggesting what your agent should be talking about, answering the question, retrieving information that might be relevant to the next step in the conversation. I just booked I went to travel agent, booked an Australian trip, had a great video interaction with a guy who was very knowledgeable about the trip to Australia, and we agreed what we wanted to do. And then my wife and I spent 20 minutes on the call while he kind of typed through booking forms and getting things up and making reservations. All that is perfectly possible to create the document that described our trip, to make the suggested bookings in real time while the agent was having the human-to-human conversation. All that is possible with AI. And so it starts taking and makes agents incredibly useful. And finally, there's coaching. That way AI can join and listen to what you're doing with a customer or with a colleague and suggest how you might have done it better afterwards. They're only suggestions, but these are really quite interesting use cases. And these are all there, ready to use today, and you're able to stick your toe in. It's making you look smarter. It's making your customers look smarter in front of their customers. And so, as Zoom thought about this, we wondered really, how should we pitch it? How should we introduce this to the market? And we decided that for Zoom customers with paid accounts, this should all be included at no extra charge. We took the strategic decision because we know that customers won't know what the value is to their organization of AI, and they might not start quick enough. So all you have to do is enable it on your account, and you can start using this. It's fully configurable. You can put a lot of controls in it. Your customers, or the customers that you maybe enable Zoom in their business, can start doing that too. So now you can do AI. Now you can do AI Companion. And exploiting AI is very simple and costs you nothing. So as the CTO of a very large bank said to me, in his very Glaswegian accent, said, if I can roll it out to 80% of my people at zero cost, well, why wouldn't I? So now on to the exciting world of contact center. We launched Contact Center in 2022 with Zoom's collaboration at its core. It was designed to support agents, their managers, and to integrate CRMs, all available with Zoom's virtual agent. It was like one of those gear changes where you kind of leap forward. And our customers really love Zoom Contact Center. And we noticed something really interesting happening. The center started to evaporate. already in 2022, the concept of the big shed with everyone coming to do the, be the contact center in the center had evaporated because people had adopted pandemic ways of working and they'd made their software work. But if now you've got software that the agents use that is exactly the same unified collaboration tool that is used by the rest of your organization, you can define workflows that go to the person that is needed for that query, not defined by a physical device or defined by software. It's very, very interesting. We had a situation where a retail chain put Zoom Contact Center on the desks of the store, which allows someone, when they're selling a very high-end watch, they can speak to the designer of that watch on the shores in Lake Geneva and said, where did you get inspiration for this watch? A really value-added way to enhance the sales experience. Some are calling this multicast, which is a combination of UCaaS, Unified Collaboration as a Service, and Contact Center as a Service, and it's got distinct advantages. It can be much more efficient for your teams. It can give you one vendor, which clearly gives you fewer headaches. It can be less expensive, and it can help that position customer service teams to be really world class. And our customers are kind of talking very openly about how this is enabling them to be better and more efficient. And the industry has noticed. This is not just our experience. People are beginning to notice this effect across the industry. And what the leading analysts are saying is that Zoom is kind of at the forefront of enabling this to work because of its ubiquity of services. And certainly it's the service that has such a footprint in contact center and on people's desktop. So my third point is why I'm here today. Well, Zoom is just making massive investments in our ability to unleash the channel. But we're designing it to be bigger, better, and in some markets, really the primary way that we will address that market. And we think there's a huge opportunity. At Zoom, the channel partner is, the channel program is the flavor of the month, and it will continue to be. We've got Zoom Up 2.0, which brings in tiered discounts. The more you do, the better you're rewarded. We can even fund a Zoom specialist in your business in certain circumstances. And we're really building up the resources dedicated to the channel. We've got changes designed to make it much easier to order and allow product-level deals per customer. And with PXC, we're integrating with their platform. And we've got customer experience specialists focusing on the contact center dedicated to this channel. So, with Zoom, you really can allow your customers and in your businesses, you can allow them to exploit AI with no additional costs for people with paid accounts. You can really join the leader in multi-contact as a service. And lastly, I just want you to take away that Zoom is absolutely focused on making your business a success. We want your customers to be happy because you have helped them choose Zoom and you have provided it through the PXC platform. We're here to talk to you. We're here to answer any of your questions. So a number of us around today. So please do come over and have a chat. If you want us to talk through the other things you might have seen on that, the barbell slide or that slide with all the Zoom products on, love to talk to you about those. They're all available through the PXC platform, and we're really excited to do business with you. So thank you so much for Zoom, and I hope it was a valuable use of your 20 minutes. Thanks a lot, everyone.